October 1600. The Sekigahara Plain. Thousands of samurai in the armor of the Tokugawa and Ishida clans clash in the greatest battle of the era. Morning mist swirls over the field, drums beat out the rhythm of the attack, spears and banners rise above waves of infantry. For the warriors, this is a decisive day that will determine the fate of Japan. But at the tree line, something out of this world suddenly appears: 30 modern Special Operations Forces soldiers. The Special Operations Forces soldiers come to their senses amidst wet grass and fog. Their armor, weapons, and helmets contrast sharply with the spears and armor around them. There are no satellites, GPS is silent, and radio contact is lost. But training and combat experience prevail. The commander quickly gathers the group, explaining that they are in the center of an ancient battle, and now their survival depends on speed, stealth, and firepower. The samurai don't yet understand the threat. To them, 30 figures in strange black armor are just another enemy unit. But when the first Special Operations Forces soldiers take up positions on the hill and in the forest, everything changes. Their sights find their targets, their machine guns are trained on the commanders and standard bearers. A second later, the ancient army encounters 21st century fire for the first time. The first burst tears through the samurai line. Commanders fall, banners crumble to the ground. No one has ever heard of such a weapon. The roar of machine guns and precise shots knock out key figures, disrupting the army's command and control system. The samurai try to figure out where the death is coming from, but the enemy is invisible, only flashes in the fog and forest. Panic spreads quickly. Thousands of warriors are accustomed to fighting anyone they can see, hear, and reach with their sword. But against an invisible shooter hundreds of meters away, their code is useless. Units begin to fray, attacks slow, and commanders are unable to issue orders. The special forces exploit this chaos, changing positions and continuing to methodically mow down key targets. Despite losses, the samurai do not flee. Their numerical superiority is overwhelming. Hundreds of warriors turn toward the forest from which the shots are coming. Archers and arquebusiers begin firing blindly into the fog, showering the trees with a hail of arrows and bullets. But the Special Forces soldiers use thermal imaging and drones, knowing in advance where the enemy is massing for an attack. The Special Forces open crossfire. When the samurai enter the forest, they are trapped. They are mowed down by bursts of fire from all directions. In the narrow passages between the trees, long spears are useless, and dense formations become targets. Modern tactics transform ancient armies into disorganized groups, unsure of the enemy's location. On the open plain, the situation also spirals out of control. Without leaders, huge detachments begin to act chaotically. Some advance, others retreat, and still others stand in disarray. Special forces use grenade launchers and machine guns, striking at the densest concentrations. Each explosion destroys dozens of lives and the enemy's morale. The samurai try to adapt. They deploy waves of infantry, hoping to overwhelm them with sheer numbers. 1,000 against 30, on paper, it should be easy. But every meter of advance costs them dozens of casualties. Modern weapons penetrate armor once considered impenetrable. Legendary warriors fall as quickly as ordinary soldiers. After several hours of battle, the plain is covered in smoke, bodies, and broken banners. Thousands of samurai still survive, but their formation is destroyed. The Special Operations Forces have expended a significant portion of their ammunition, but they control key heights and forested areas. This is no longer a classic battle, but a hunt, where 30 fighters dictate the course of an entire army's battle. The remaining samurai generals realize that their usual tactics are no longer working. They order the best units assembled and a massive attack on the forest where the strange enemies have taken refuge. Thousands of warriors, driven by fury and fear, begin to close in. The Special Forces, SF, see this in advance through drones and thermal imaging and prepare a new line of defense. As the samurai charge into the forest, the ground explodes beneath their feet. Mines and tripwires planted by the SF soldiers tear through the front lines. The rest encounter a barrage of machine gun fire. Trees snap, leaves and earth fly into the air, turning the ancient forest into a modern-day destruction zone. Despite horrific losses, some samurai finally break through to close range. Brief skirmishes begin. Katanas clash with machine guns, armor clashes with tactical vests. But even here, the SF have the advantage: stun grenades, rifle butts, and quick coordination. Every samurai who gets too close finds themselves in a deadly trap. After a few minutes of close combat, the samurai attacks falter. Bodies lie between the trees, and the survivors retreat in panic. To them, these 30 fighters look like war demons, invulnerable and deadly. Fear spreads faster than any orders. Entire units begin to refuse to advance. On the plain, the army's morale collapses completely. Without coordination and confidence, even thousands of warriors cannot attack effectively. The Special Operations Forces continue to carry out pinpoint strikes, destroying the remnants of command and supply depots. The historic Battle of Sekigahara transforms into something entirely different, a clash of eras, where the future mercilessly overwhelms the past. By evening, the battlefield no longer resembles a coherent army. The samurai units are scattered across the plain and forests, having lost contact with each other. Special Operations Forces, SOF, soldiers methodically clear pockets of resistance, using thermal imaging to locate warriors hiding in the fog and smoke. For the samurai, night becomes a nightmare, where the enemy sees through the darkness. Individual samurai groups attempt ambushes, using their knowledge of the terrain. But their own heat signatures and movements always give them away. The SOF attack first, destroying cover with grenades and bursts of fire. The ancient tactics of stealth strikes prove useless against the technology of the future. The samurai army's command effectively ceases to exist. Those still alive are unable to transmit orders. Warriors either fight alone or retreat. The SOF, on the contrary, act as a unified mechanism, exchanging data and covering each other. The difference between an army and a high-tech special forces group becomes frighteningly obvious. By morning, only scattered detachments remain of the 1,000-strong army. Most of the samurai are either killed or have fled. Those still holding arms look at the smoking plain and cannot comprehend how this is possible. 30 men have destroyed the military might that determined Japan's fate. History in this world takes a different path. Without the victors and vanquished of the samurai era, Japan finds itself on the brink of utter chaos. And the Special Operations Forces, having accomplished the impossible, prepare to leave, uncertain whether they will ever return to their world. Their mark on the past has proven too great to erase. The surviving samurai gather in small groups. Rumors circulate among them of iron demons, who have destroyed entire armies. No one wants to fight again. Legends of Sekigahara begin to emerge right on the battlefield. For the first time in Japanese history, fear of the enemy is stronger than a sense of duty and honor. The Special Forces, SFO, observe the events from a height. They understand that they have destroyed not just an army, but an entire era of war. Their weapons have proven too powerful for this world. The commander orders preparations to evacuate if the time rift opens again. But no one knows when, or if, this will happen. Time and space begin to distort. Glowing rifts appear over the battlefield, as if reality itself is trying to correct the error. The samurai fall to their knees in horror, and the SFO soldiers prepare to cross. They know, their mission in this world is over, but the consequences will remain forever. One by one, the SFO soldiers enter the glowing portal. Their silhouettes dissolve in the light, leaving behind a shattered army of the past. For the samurai, it seems like the disappearance of the gods of war. No one dares approach. Japanese history will never return to its former path. The Sekigahara plain is once again plunged into silence. But it is not the same silence it once was. 1,000 samurai lost the battle against 30 soldiers of the future. The world continues to live, unaware that it has witnessed the greatest clash of technology and history. And somewhere in legend, the memory of that day when the future came to the past will forever remain. Weeks pass. Legend spread across Japan of a battle where the heavens thundered and warriors fell without a sword strike. Daimyo and shoguns try to understand what happened at Sekigahara. Some believe it was punishment from the gods, others an invasion of spirits. But the truth is more frightening. Someone wielded a weapon superior to anything known to humanity. In the ruined forest of Sekigahara, peasants discover strange traces, scorched trees, metal fragments, and traces of explosions. They resemble neither arrows nor arquebus bullets. For ordinary people, this is proof that the world encountered something alien and dangerous that day. Historians of the future, if they could see this world, would be shocked. One special forces group altered the balance of power for an entire civilization. The age of the samurai in this reality ended not because of politics, but because of technology from the future. Sekigahara became a turning point in history. Somewhere in another time, 30 special forces soldiers will return home, carrying the memory of a battle that should never have existed. But in this world, Japan will forever bear a scar. The Battle of 1,000 Samurai against 30 soldiers of the future will become the strangest and most terrifying legend history has ever known.